the Great Wall of China. It is more than stone and earth. It's a symbol of persistence, a line drawn across history, so vast it is said to be visible from space. For centuries, it has captured our imagination. We think of it as a single ancient project, built by a powerful emperor to keep out the world. But the wall we know today, the one that snakes over these steep, dramatic mountains, is not what most people think it is. Its most iconic and formidable sections were not the vision of the first emperor, but were radically redesigned and rebuilt over 1,500 years later. And the vision belonged to one man, a man whose name is largely unknown to the millions who walked ramparts. He was not an emperor or a famous architect in the modern sense. He was a battle-hardened general, a brilliant strategist who looked at the crumbling defenses of his nation and saw not just a wall, but a weapon. This is the story of Qi Jiguang, the Great Wall's unsung architect. The mid-16th century, China's Ming Dynasty is a global power, but it lives under a constant shadow. To the north, the Mongol tribes, masters of a lightning-fast cavalry raid, are a persistent and deadly threat. For decades, they have breached the northern frontier almost at will. The existing Great Wall in this region, mostly built from packed earth and loose stone, was failing. It was a passive, brittle line of defense. Watchtowers were simple, solid structures, too far apart to support each other. The wall could be breached in countless places, and by the time a signal fire was lit, the raiders were already gone. The court in Beijing was in a state of perpetual anxiety. Decades earlier, in 1449, the emperor himself had been captured by the Mongols in a disastrous military campaign. The fear was palpable. The northern frontier was the empire's bleeding wound. This was the situation that greeted General Qi Jiguang when he was promoted to oversee the defense of the most critical region, the gateway to Beijing itself. He was not a builder by trade. He was a soldier who had spent years fighting pirates on China's southern coasts. There he learned a vital lesson. A static defense is a dead defense. When Qi inspected the defenses in the north, he was appalled. He saw a wall that was designed to stop an army, but was useless against the small, swift raiding parties of the Mongols. He submitted a proposal to the imperial court. He wasn't just asking for repairs. He was asking for a revolution. His vision was to create an active, integrated defense system. The wall itself would be the spine, but its power would come from a new kind of watchtower. This was Qi Jiguang's masterstroke, the hollow multi-story watchtower. Before him, towers were mostly solid platforms for observation. Qi designed fortresses in miniature. These new towers, spaced closely together, often just 100 meters apart, were typically 2 or 3 stories high. The top floor was an open-air fighting platform with high, crenellated walls for cover. The middle floor was a barracks with windows that were actually arrow slits, allowing soldiers to fire on attackers from a protected position. The ground floor was a storeroom, stockpiled with food, water, and weapons. These weren't just observation posts, they were self-sustaining garrisons. A small troop of 30 to 50 soldiers could hold out for weeks, living and fighting right inside the tower. But the true genius was how they worked together. The close spacing meant that every inch of the wall was covered by overlapping fields of fire from crossbows and primitive cannons. If one tower was attacked, its neighbors could provide immediate support. Qi established a sophisticated signaling system using smoke, flags, and lanterns, allowing messages to be relayed along the wall faster than a galloping horse. He insisted on using high-quality kiln-fired bricks and stone, ensuring the wall was strong enough to withstand cannon fire. He even had the names of the foremen and the date of production stamped into the bricks, a clever method of quality control. The emperor approved his plan, and so began one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history. Over 16 years, Qi Jiguang oversaw the rebuilding of over 1,000 kilometers of the Great Wall. The logistics were staggering. Millions of tons of stone and brick had to be quarried, transported, and lifted into place on some of the most treacherous mountain terrain imaginable. The labor came from his soldiers and from local peasants. It was grueling, dangerous work. Winters were brutally cold, and summers scorchingly hot. Many men died, their stories lost to time, their bodies becoming part of the very foundation they were building. Qi's challenges weren't just physical. He faced resistance from conservative officials in the court who saw his project as astronomically expensive and unnecessarily elaborate. They argued for cheaper, faster repairs. But Qi, backed by the powerful Grand Secretary Zhang Jijing, held his ground. He knew that a temporary fix would only lead to more death and devastation. He was building for permanence. He was building to win. And he did win. During the years Qi Jiguang guarded the northern frontier, the Mongol raids on his section of the wall effectively stopped. His system worked. His wall held. The sections he rebuilt, like the stunningly beautiful and formidable Mutianyu and Jinshanling, which are among the most visited sections today, became the gold standard for Ming Dynasty border defense. When you walk the Great Wall at these locations, you are walking on the very bricks laid under Qi's command. You are standing on the fighting platforms he designed. You are experiencing his vision firsthand. But history is often unkind to its heroes. After his powerful ally in the court died, political rivals moved against Qi. He was removed from his command, disgraced, and died in relative poverty and obscurity. For a time, his monumental achievements were downplayed, his name fading from the official histories. The wall, however, remembered. It stood as a silent testament to his genius. The Great Wall is not the work of a single dynasty or a single man, but its most enduring and awe-inspiring form is a direct result of the vision of General Qi Jiguang. He reminds us that behind every great monument, there are untold stories of individuals who saw things differently, who fought against the odds, and whose legacy is so immense it becomes the landscape itself. They are the unsung architects of our world.